profile picture because I found this ad recently that like cursed me.
Oh
I don't
no.
know, it's so bizarre.
Oh, what?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's there was an era where gaming ads were like for horny young boys or something.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just this ad just like cracks me up so much because it's just like I don't understand what this is going for aside from like
He
this
got a
was in the
huge
PS2
dick.
era.
Yeah.
As the title says, no arms, no legs.
Hello.
Features like I don't know.
Hello, hello.
Big
Nice to meet you.
change.
Big change. Hello. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Right.
Good, good. I haven't eaten yet, so I have a cup of noodles, but it's too hot. I'm just warning you that I will be slurping that at some point.
Okay, no need to warn us.
Some people can't handle it. Some people are like, "Why do you eat on stream?"
Why do you have basic bodily functions?
Yeah.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and I had this bag of veggie straws next to my bed. For like a good 30 minutes, I was just watching YouTube and just gnawing on these. And I was like, this is exactly what I need in my day.
Good.
My 30 AM regimen.
I haven't had those in a while. Veggie straws.
These are yeah, my weight.
Oh my goodness.
My pussy. Who's my ex-girlfriend's pussy, actually.
So did anybody check out Jury Duty?
Oh, my parents did, but I didn't watch much of it. Apparently, it's good. My parents like it a lot.
It's worth watching. I don't know if so there were people that posted on the subreddit for The Rehearsal that were like, oh yeah, if you liked The Rehearsal, then check out Jury Duty. At this point, I'm convinced that was like the film's marketing team because it is nothing like The Rehearsal at all. It's more like The Office, and it's actually from producers of The Office, and it was worth watching. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of
it has its flaws.
Yeah. Cinematography, it's certainly much more like The Office. The Rehearsal is like way more. I feel like it has way more to say for itself. The Jury Duty is like an all-out comedy. It doesn't have like
Jury Duty doesn't have as good actors, also.
Yeah. Jury Duty. I actually know one person that's like one of the actors in it, and they were telling me.
You just said in it.
That sorry.
You said in it.
Oh, English? Shut up.
I know. I'm just
but basically, apparently, they had to do the show twice with like two different people because the first two people weren't funny.
I could imagine, yeah.
Real person.
So like 3 times
apparently
or what?
One of them was like mentally, like I don't know how they managed this, but apparently they were like clearly mentally challenged, and then they were like, "Oh, this is not funny."
That has never stopped Nathan Fielder or Tim Heidecker. That has never stopped either of them. That actually makes for good content. As long as you're responsible about what happens, you know? Like every single person that shows up in like a Tim Heidecker produced piece is like clearly autistic.
I don't know how they get away with it though, because there's like there's a movie or a TV movie called Windy City Heat that used to be on Comedy Central, and now it's Comedy Central. They produced it. They stopped airing it, and they don't associate it anymore with it because like the main guy that's being made fun of, he was in like a car crash, so he's a little mentally challenged. So like because of that, it's even on Wikipedia, they said because of his mental challenge, they don't air it anymore.
So what are we gonna do? Never put people from the United States of America in things? Jeez. Where do we draw the line? I'm sorry. Sorry, Windy City, what is it called? Windy City something?
Windy City Heat. And to be fair, like even if he has a mental disability, I don't think a mental disability makes you extremely homophobic and misogynistic.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what it is.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's something.
I mean, I just like watching things that are about interesting characters. You know? I mean, like everybody, I don't believe in free will anyway. So the level of like choice as to what type of person you are is the exact same for everybody across the board, in my opinion, but
Yeah.
We're
Product
getting
of the
How to with
environment.
John Wilson season 3 in July. Finally, the final season.
yeah, they said it's final for some reason. I don't know why they say final. Maybe they're just choosing to end it.
No, it was apparently John Wilson's
Or
idea
Max.
to. It was John Wilson's idea to end the series at season 3.
Good.
Apparently,
Okay.
it was okay. So it was his decision to do that.
Good. That makes sense.
But
I
HBO, I
wonder what
feel
he'll
like,
do next.
I don't know. Hopefully, something good.
yeah. HBO has a tendency, I feel like, to make their at least big budget production shows 4 seasons. At least it's been like that for a while now, like with Succession and Barry. There was another show. Oh fuck.
I think it's more up to the creators. Barry's isn't HBO, is it?
It
Yeah,
is.
it
The
is.
final episode
Oh, it
coming
is,
out this
okay.
Sunday. Apparently, the
Mhm.
final season.
I need to
episode of
start
Succession
watching.
and
The
Barry
last
are this Sunday.
episode's this week, this Sunday. So is Succession, and
Mhm.
I'm really nervous because I don't know if they fixed it, but since they've changed the app Max, and I had
Oh,
to
no.
download a new
I
app
did
on my
too.
phone or like on my TV,
Mhm.
it was like glitching out Max.
Yeah.
It was like
was
broken. It
excited
like
for the
froze
auto.
and then stopped playing a movie halfway through, and I was like, oh no, I hope it's not like this on Sunday.
Yeah, well, you can always there's other ways you can get it that won't glitch and freeze. That I
You know,
would
speaking of
never advocate for because it's theft, but I'm just saying there exist other ways.
Well,
Speaking of Max,
cooking
Adam,
And it's not even
tortillas.
theft if you're already subscribed to it, I guess, but
I was already subscribed to it, so I got it. But sorry, quick question, Adam. You gonna do a watch along for the new Clone High season that just got released on Max?
No, because if I start a watch along, then that would kind of imply that I'm committed to finishing it when I don't even want to set anything up to watch it. If I watch it, it's gonna be I'm bored and I'm almost falling asleep. Let's see what it's like for a minute. It's gonna be a very casual
I haven't done a
watch.
watch along in a while, but I did the watch along with Little Mermaid last night.
So
That
did
was
I.
fun.
Good.
Yeah, it was fun to revisit that movie. I forgot how good it was.
It is good, yeah.
So it's a decent movie. And
Yeah.
you love the new remake, Adam, because you gave it higher than a 1. Yay!
Yeah, it was exceptional.
The budget at
Was it
Disney.
actually
went
good?
up.
It was better than the Lion King and Aladdin remakes, but it was still really bad.
In what way?
You like the
Like,
ammunition?
what's the one different aspect?
I mean, the bar is so low.
The bar is very low. Not every song was completely bastardized. It was okay, you did something kind of different and it kind of works, but the original's still better.
Yeah.
Not every it functions the best as its own thing compared to the Lion King and Aladdin, but it still is completely useless and doesn't need to exist,
Yeah.
It seems like so many people are especially my friends, they were okay with the CG animals in Lion King. They're totally fine with that, but they're horrified by the Little Mermaid, Sebastian and Flounder. I don't understand the disconnect. Why people are okay with it
Well,
in the Lion King. But it seems like
Maybe
such
it's
a-
because
think-
they're next to humans.
I think also the lions in the Lion King looked more like real lions than the creatures, the underwater creatures in Little Mermaid. The crab still doesn't look like a real crab. They still
It looks like-
anthropomorphized
it's
it
the
a bit.
worst.
It's just
it's the worst.
yeah, we have the worst of both
It's
worlds.
too,
for no reason.
realistic Mr. Krabs for me, and every time I look at it, it just doesn't look right on the actual animation itself. It's weird.
Tater, you have your hand up. What's up?
Hey guys, can you all hear me all right?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right. So I'm gonna change the subject a little bit. So hopefully y'all can bear with me just
Sure.
for a second.
Sure. I'm eating some noodles. How's it going?
Yeah. So I won't take up too much time, but
Mhm.
I just wanted to give Adam a big thank you for everything that you do.
Thank
had
you.
kind of a long and difficult last 10 years or so, and so. But I have a real passion for film and expression through storytelling. And Adam, you've been one of the most influential people to me personally.
I really appreciate
on,
that. Thank you for your support.
On how I look at films and appreciate them, and so I just wanted to stumble through that a little because I know how tough life can get sometimes, and maybe in your darker moments you can just keep in mind you make it easier for people like me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think that like just I don't know, art and entertainment is more valuable than a lot of people would think. Because it is like a, you know, what gets people through the day.
Yeah, I don't think people realize like how much their music that they listen to on the way to work or something like influences them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
a
the
world
gym.
without art is very sad. Is that should I oh there we go. Aether Muse, what's up?
Hey guys, just two things I want to mention real quick. I got some new shirts recently, one of which I'm wearing is from Avril Lavigne's first album.
Oh no.
Yes.
Like first was it like was it the same album as Complicated?
Yeah, that's the one, Skater Boy. I also want to mention I got Moist Critical merch also, Moist Sports merch jersey. Yeah, and
What does it look like?
I'm making it's with the teardrops on it and like the Upper GX logo on it. It's the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm making my own unofficial Pokemon TCG set, the trading card game set.
Yep. Like the Game Boy one.
Oh, the trading card game.
Because
like,
there's the Game Boy trading card game also.
Oh, I mean more like the
physical one. Okay.
Yeah, physical.
Is it Gen 1?
No, it's new gen. It's
Boo.
Dark Eon. If it were an actual set, it would be part of the Sword and Shield era because it's got V's, VMAX, and V stars.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, that's all I want to mention.
Yeah, I saw that, Taylor. That was
I
great.
grew up with Gen 5 and I stopped at Gen 7.
I stopped at Gen 5.
I stopped at Gen 1.
Gen 1 or cringe.
Gen 2's the best, though. It's got the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
Gen
I
3,
can stomach Gen 2 and a bit of Gen 3, and then the rest I'm just
I
like
don't know why.
a boomer.
Remember, in Gen 2, it's the best game because you not only play through the new gen, but then you get to go through and do all the first three Kanto again. Like, why do they never go back to that? Like, 16 badges, that was awesome.
Because
I don't like how. Sorry?
Because it takes effort.
It's because there's like so many worlds now, and knowing Game Freak, they don't want to like put too much pressure on them. They can barely make a functional game anyway.
They're building in the wrong direction. They should just keep making new, different experiences with the original Pokemon, not keep making new Pokemon but the same experience.
It's like they need to evolve.
I know, right? It made sense as a business model for like the first however many years, because the mantra was like, gotta catch them all. Like, you'll never feel happy if you don't have every Pokemon, right? And so there was the manipulative side of that. It made sense, but now they gotta like. There's a lot of nostalgia in those originals.
I was getting like pretty much every game until they were like, "Oh, we're not putting all the Pokemon in the next one," and it's like, "Oh, okay, I don't see the purpose of playing your game now."
So let's think of it this way. Let's think of it this way in terms of like. Let's think of it this way in terms of like what they have marketing wise. If I was at Nintendo or Game Freak or the Pokemon Company, I'd be up there with like my slides, my PowerPoint, just going like, okay, which generation of Pokemon is memed? Right? We got Surprise Pikachu, right? We got Jinx gets posted a bunch of places sometimes. We got Vaporeon copy pasta. Right? Like, how many other gens are memed this much? Clearly, there's a lot of market value in the first gen. Clearly, that's where a lot of the...
Also, don't forget the Smash Your Pass thing.
I'm not talking... Well, you can look that up if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it.
People confusing the rice bowl with donuts.
I'm obsessed with, in the first gen, there was a bunch of, especially in like North America, there's a bunch of unlicensed Pokemon stuff that you could find in like mom and pop shops and stuff like that, and it's like off-colored Pokemon and stuff. And I found this derp freaking Pikachu.
Oh my god.
That looks like that.
It's awful, but I love it.
That looks like
Mudkips was a meme.
Creature.
Mudkips is an old meme, but nobody talks about it anymore.
So you find it a Korean.
I think there's a meme value in a bunch of stuff that isn't Gen 1. I don't think that's the correct.
Yeah, but
meter
where
gauge or
where
whatever for
name some
how
then?
relevant.
Name some.
What?
Name some memes of not Gen 1. We got Mudkips, that's an old dead meme. I just want to know what I'm
God
trying
of
to
War.
assess what's current and what people are talking about already, not like what you can talk about if you want it to get popular.
Which is the Pokemon
I-
that's
well,
like a
there
big
is-
tiger
there is actually
and
the,
like everyone wants to fuck it or something? Which
I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon that people want to fuck.
yeah. Yeah, but I see that.
There actually is.
Incineroar? Incineroar's in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, he's a meme.
Okay.
He's kind of a meme.
I know
There
Ralph-
is actually a meme with the soundtrack of like I think Gen 4 or 5. There's videos on YouTube that are titled like Gen 4 music hits different, and it's just like a compilation of just like a bunch of shit.
I like the music in the games.
Music from those games.
Yeah,
I think Gen 5 has like the best soundtrack throughout any of the games. Really.
Gen 5 was like a renaissance.
And funny enough, like the newest Pokemon game.
What was Gen
has
5? Was it White and Black?
Yeah, Black and White.
Okay, I never finished those.
There is one track. There is one track in the newest Pokemon game that kind of hits that same feeling that I got from Gen 5, and it was I don't know if this is spoilers or anything, but it's a Penny's theme.
Okay.
Like the battle theme.
That
one's crazy.
All right. Hello. What's up, BC467? You have your hand up.
Well, I changed my profile picture from Rayman and his dong all the way to I'm sorry, Olivia, for stealing your meme because I wanted to write about Fast X because this is relevant, kind of, because
I
Fast
did
9
not
was
invent the Zhao Shina meme.
Zhao China. Bing chilling.
Yeah, but I wanted to write about Bing chilling your ice cream. Anyways, I wanted to write about Fast X for a bit because it was probably the worst movie I've seen this year so far. And can I spoil
Is
it?
Mr. China in the movie?
Vin Diesel's gonna be mad at you. He said it's the most relevant movie ever.
And also, they're making like 2 more sequels for some reason.
Are they still making money?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
like they
I think it
they have
does.
to at least.
I
think it does well.
especially my favorite series.
How fucking long ago was
like either the
theaters
movie
and
they're still making
TV.
money, either the movie they're still making money, or like Vin Diesel's just begging the studio to like make more because that's all he does now.
they make money in China,
This
but they
point,
don't
he's
do well
begging
that
for everyone to join his movie, especially
They do
Dwayne.
really well in China, so that's what I think is happening. They do really well in China, but I don't know how they do well in domestically. But the reason I wanted to write about Fast X is that it may actually not only is it the worst movie ever, but there's just so many inconsistencies. Like the Fast and Furious franchise has never been smart, but for some reason this one they decided to meet halfway, where it's like dumb but also inconsistent with itself. It's like a lot of the other movies they've instead of sorry, my vocab's all over the place.
Sure.
But what I was trying to say is that okay, maybe I need to comprehend my thoughts for a sec because my brain's just fried right now.
Sure.
So
Do you want to? We'll come back to you, maybe.
Yeah, sure. You can come back to me.
Yeah,
later.
hold that
Sorry,
thought.
I
We can
really- I
talk.
was
We can
gonna-
talk more about it in a bit.
The people I work with were pumped to see it. Like I know a bunch of people who were freaking stoked.
My boss at my work loves the Fast and Furious franchise, but he hated the new one.
Stoked, like they were like, "Do you want to come with us? We're going tonight." I was like, I'm okay. I'm good.
Could not imagine anyone.
Okay, now I remember. I actually just remember what I wanted to.
Sure, go for
I
it.
just remember what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry. That now I do.
Sure. Apparently, Fast X is at 380 million.
That's fast.
Yeah.
It's the 10th most expensive. It's now in the top
so
10
much
most
money for that
expensive
movie.
film. I don't. It's Universal's the second most expensive film behind Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, apparently, and I think that they apparently the behind the scenes
Or
drama was
Fast
more
and Furious.
Yeah, more fast, more furious.
Wow.
The thing I was gonna say is how the ending kind of sucks because it literally ends on a cliffhanger, and the post-credit scene is literally. I can spoil this because Vin Diesel spoiled it himself. Is that literally it's like, oh yeah, The Rock is back in the next movie or something.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah,
What if
they-
what
they
if
got that
they
humorous
what if
face.
they like AI generated him without his permission, and now he has to like figure out if he wants to tell everybody that he's not in the next movie.
You know what? That sounds like something Vin Diesel would do.
That would be very funny if he did that. But it's also funny that The Rock has a price point, and he's willing to just like, even though he's publicly said like, stop it, stop bothering me, Vin Diesel.
You know what's funny? I think I could be wrong about this, but apparently The Rock guy paid $30 million just to come back for the post-credit scene of this film.
Why not?
Not even kidding.
Yeah,
Why not?
Clear he needs something.
That's a rounding error for these films.
You know why that cost $280 million? They probably have something to do with the celebrities being involved.
What was
Has
like
The
the
Rock-
turning
sorry,
point
go
for
ahead.
everyone with The Rock? Because everyone's kind of turned on him in terms of like the film.
I mean,
the
his
film buff community. Everyone,
Well, I mean, what did people think he was a good actor before? Like, what do you mean?
No, but people were kind of neutral. They were like, "Yeah, he's doing his thing." But now,
He's
like,
like-
you ask like hardcore film buffs, like they'll be like, what an
Did
asshole.
hardcore film buffs were like not annoyed by him at any point? I don't know. I don't know if I'd call them hardcore film buffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
The Rock,
yeah,
The Rock is such a perfect name for him.
yeah.
So I have a question. I have a question.
Kind of looks like a rock.
Thinks like a rock.
Yeah. I don't.
I have a
He is a rock.
Yeah, sorry, I have a question.
Feels
Yeah,
like a rock.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So The Rock.
Hold on.
The Rock.
I think it was
has-
Hewlett fan that wanted to.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you say is his best performance? that
He
you've
doesn't
seen?
have
Like,
one. He doesn't have one.
Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy.
He doesn't have a perform.
Really?
He's
There's not a
never
single
performed. He's never acted. He
Well,
just
then
does his
Moana,
same
the
thing of his
game
own.
plan.
The only acting he's ever done is the eyebrow. Like he's it's the same persona that he is on Instagram in the movies. So like,
Can I say something? He does the eyebrow thing at the post-credit scene of Fast X, so you
But I
got
mean,
that for your
even
money.
people like Seth Rogen or whatever, as annoying as they are, they have branched out and done mature performances. Can you not say the same for The Rock?
No.
In anything? Or
No.
Yeah.
not a single thing.
Oh,
I
God.
actually kind of like Pain and Gain, but yeah, he just does the same thing in that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question
But
about.
I
he's
mean, at
the-
least in
does that.
at least in Moana, he had some capabilities, especially that movie was about Hawaii anyway, so I think that is probably my favorite performance for him. At least he's not
Yeah,
doing it
probably
on screen.
Moana.
That
Everyone
You can
seems.
tell he put a little bit of effort into Moana, at least. Like
he has a
you
very
hear,
deep
like,
personal connection.
shine in
to
his
it.
voice, at least. I know a lot
It's
of
a personal movie for him.
you know.
All right, Kiki, what's up?
Yeah, like even though it was kind of past, I just had a
Sure.
couple of Pokemon thoughts and hearing what you guys said. Yeah, it's like with a lot of stuff like Gen 2 and Gen 3, it's like they've always been really good at doing remakes because they either end up creating a definitive version of them and really like modernize these games to really make them worth playing nowadays. Like, I don't think I would ever play the original Gold and Silver over Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But yeah, it's like
It depends on the remake, because
But Alpha Sapphire
Yeah,
had
I
too
was-
much water.
a lot
I
of people
know.
would probably say that.
I'm never playing Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people would probably
Yeah,
say that.
don't.
Everyone
Brilliant
hates
Diamond is a
Right.
very silly name.
Yeah, it's like I thought Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire stood pretty toe to toe with the original games. Like, there's reasons to play both, but the Diamond and Pearl remakes made me very, very upset because they changed almost nothing about the games. So it's like okay, we have kids coming on to this game who have never played these games before, but it's like they feel like A, DS games, and B, the remakes have always given older players an incentive to play them because of like those new experiences. But these games didn't do that. Like, I still think that Platinum is the definitive version of those games.
Mhm.
And it's just like that was fucking what?
That was the
14,
best.
15 years ago.
How about they remake Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet so they don't suck balls?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
My experience with Pokemon. You know, every single game that had came out like up until Gen 5, they kind of like changed the way that the world looked. And for me, like I thought the coolest looking game in the entire franchise was Gen 5 because, well, I never played Diamond and Pearl, or I played a lot of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but it was really Black and White that I really think that the series was like on a high point. I don't know so much about the Pokemon itself because I can't really remember too much about those Pokemon in general, but the world that I was like running in was amazing. Like I don't know if I want to. I don't know if these
Well, it's
count
the
as
last
spoilers,
2D
but
games. It's the last pixel art, right?
I don't. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it
'cause
was.
my favorite, because like I think the best part about like running around the world in Pokemon Black and White was going to the third city in the game, which is like the third gym, because it's basically just like a gigantic city, and you get to like run around like all the buildings and stuff. It's still like on like a 2D plane or something, but it was still like it blew my mind as a kid when I played it, and I would love to play it again at some point.
Yeah, maybe I should play that one. I never finished
It
it.
was the last one I really loved. It was the last one I really liked.
Yeah, like
I was just confused at the Pokemon. I was like, I don't know which one's what type and what they do, and so I gave up.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
imagine you have the one that you like too, Adam.
Yeah.
It's not the trash bag.
Yeah.
Pokemon, the
Yeah,
ice
I would.
cream
I
thing.
don't think the Pokemon itself in Gen 5 is great, but
There are some good ones.
I think the game overall, you feel the world, at least from my experience.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I also kind of realized like later that the soundtrack was amazing. Like it really does go hard, like they say.
I just want another Pokemon Puzzle League challenge,
Oh
which
my
is
God,
just
that one's
Tetris
so
Attack
good.
with
That
Pokemon,
game.
and I'm really good at it.
Also,
Yeah, that one's so good.
I just
What
want
about
another.
Pokemon?
I just
One other
want
quick
another
fact.
mystery dungeon. It's the only time when they have decent writing.
Well, because that's the only time the
Oh, like a
Pokemon
Pokemon
speak
Stop.
English
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
true.
and don't say their own
Don't
names.
think
Anime,
there's
but I
no,
think it had like 5
storytelling.
episodes.
One other
Okay.
one other fun fact I'll mention just about Pokemon Black. So that game for the longest time was not able to be played on emulators because Nintendo had put in a really, I think, kind of interesting anti-piracy measure. And basically, what the game cartridge would do is it would try to recognize if it was like still in a official Nintendo DS. And if the game didn't recognize, because I think it's like just some heat checks or something. I don't know how it works, but it basically always checked to make sure that it was running in official hardware. And if it detected that the environment was not official hardware, so if it was being run in an emulator or something, it wouldn't like stop progression, but what it would do is it would just prevent you from like leveling up your Pokemon.
Weird.
And there were like several, because like there were several different checks. Like if you entered a new town, it would do a check on the DS, and then they would detect that. So
But yeah,
for the longest
that's
time,
bypassed it now
emulator
at this
developers-
point, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for the
'cause
longest time,
everything
emulator
Nintendo
developers
does
had to
gets
find a way to get around
bypassed.
it. But I think now it works fine. And
There's like
one
emulations
PS
for the new
I don't
Zelda
know.
game already.
The fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
they like hatched the 3DS after they killed the store to kill piracy is so like insanely fucking cringe.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
What did they do?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's insane.
They did a new patch to try to like keep people from homebrewing their 3DS, which is like the only way to get games digitally now is through piracy because they shut the
That's
store down.
very evil.
Piracy is an attack on. It's an attack on art in general.
Not if
Are
you
you
can't not if you
serious?
can't buy it anywhere else.
Oh.
Even if it's lost media.
We were like what the context that we were just talking about is Nintendo preventing people from playing their games in any way whatsoever. So I would argue that's an attack on art, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you buy a digital
Yeah, 100%.
of the game by itself, you can still add it to your 3DS. Just anything off the eShop you can't buy. But if you like buy a new 3DS like card that has the barcode on it on GameStop or something, you could still acquire that.
There's a lot of things that are only available through the eShop.
I shouldn't have said
Yeah,
that.
there are a lot of like eShop only
Glad I
games.
homebrewed it already.
Yeah, and like not just eShop only games, but like DLC for games and stuff, right?
Yeah.
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 That's okay. All right, Davis, your hand is up.
Yeah. So two things. Thankfully, it rolled into the emulation question. But one, actually, I was watching your reaction to Neil Breen's video yesterday, and I'm actually going to the UK for a film internship this summer, and thankfully, like 3 days in, they're showing up.
Nice. Way to
And
go!
so
Congratulations.
I got a ticket. There was an open ticket, so
Where in the UK are you going? Where in the UK? Where in the UK are you going?
In Heathrow.
That's in England. I'm in Scotland.
Oh, hold on. So I'm stupid then.
Heathrow.
They gave me a bunch of
Yeah,
locations.
Paul-
I know it's like zone 1 or 2. That's what, at least what I know. So
Sure.
That's
Correct.
the first thing they told me about London because I know nothing about any of the towns or cities or anything like that. But the second question was about emulation. I'm just wondering, besides like some movies and stuff like that, is there any like games that you would pirate for the sake of maybe you already have it on a system but you want to play it on your PC for the sake of modding? Because
You can't like any handheld game. You can't really stream unless you have like some bizarre thing from like there exists ways to like stream your DS, but at that point you're already like jailbreaking the DS, which is like just as illegal as like I don't know, owning a copy of the game and then getting like an emulated version. So like I mean like people
breaking your DS is illegal.
I mean, I said just as illegal, as in it's against the Nintendo will say it's illegal. They'll say it's like against the terms of service of their device, right? So technically, like every single Blu-ray at the beginning it says like unauthorized copies you're not allowed to do. Like as soon as I rip it to my hard drive, even if I'm using it for a review, which is legal under fair use law, it's an exception to the law, fair use, right? So. Technically making any kind of copy of me downloading it to my hard drive, uploading it to my hard drive, ripping it to my hard drive is just as illegal as me going to a pirate website and downloading it without seeding it in terms of like me using it for fair use purposes.
If you own a game, are you able to like emulate it and stream that to Twitch?
Twitch doesn't allow emulation of any kind. Of any kind. Yeah, they updated their terms of service like 3 years ago. It's lame, I know, but you can just never say that it's an emulation, and then you're
put
fine.
it in full screen, and as long as you don't show any of the menus or stuff like that, you're good.
Yeah.
I wanted to stream Soul Taroba.
Fucking do it, but just say that it's not emulated and play dumb.
No, I got Tears of the Kingdom. The easiest process. I thought Switch emulation and ROMs were going to be much harder than I thought. The easiest thing in the world, and I'm running it on like a 3-year-old PC, and it runs amazingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nintendo. I refuse to pay $70 for a Nintendo game.
According to Google, it's not illegal to jailbreak it, but it does break the warranty. So I guess.
Mhm.
That I know.
Yeah.
Hack a Twitch.
So.
I mean, like as soon as you like, I don't know, jailbreaking it, you're already kind of like setting yourself up for like, ooh, I'm trying to make it so that I can download games to it and not pay for them, which is fine. Like I don't care. Artists will be compensated.
How recent? Hey Adam, how recent was that change to the Twitch terms of service for like emulation?
It was like
that
3 years
seems like a
ago.
new thing. Because I'm just trying to look it up.
It kind of reminds me. So I haven't been speaking very much today because, sorry, I have something in my throat. Sorry, I haven't been speaking much today because I'm just like I haven't had much to say. But I will say, I do think it's kind of funny how like it's some games like used to be like delisted, but then they're advertising to bring it back. Like one that happened recently was when the Metal Gear Solid HD collection got delisted from several storefronts, but then at the PlayStation Showcase they announced like, oh, they're bringing back Metal Gear Solid game collections to the new platforms or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
thought those were already out. I was like, why are they releasing this? This is already out. That's fine.
Yeah, they're gonna re-release
Yeah.
MGS 1, 2, 3, and also the OG
hyped for
like,
Huh.
NES games. I
Hopefully
think.
they're better ports.
On like Steam or what?
On Steam, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5 later this
Okay.
year.
Maybe I'll play them
fall.
on Steam.
Have you played them before, Adam?
Not the OGs, no.
Oh.
I know people are saying they're
And
good.
then
So.
MGS4 is like a bitch to emulate because it uses the PS3 sales architect so hard that it literally can't be ported anywhere unless they like fully remade it.
What?
Really?
It uses the what architect?
It's called like a
What-
sales
what do you mean?
architect. It's an architect that like only exists on the PS3. No other game console has used it. But the reason that Metal Gear Solid 4 literally can't be on any platform aside from the PS3 is because of some weird architect thing that Kojima used for when he was making MGS4 that it literally can't be replicated any other way and stuff like that
Well-
unless they like remade it.
Oh,
I
know
have
about
a
this. Is this
PS3.
because, like, you have such... Sorry,
That
is this because of...
Weird.
Oh yeah, is this because of the really lengthy installation process that happens on MGS4? Like because of the massive amount of cutscenes and it's specific, like the
Pretty
engine is
much,
tailored
yeah,
to the
that's
PS3.
why.
Yeah, I remember that when first playing it when I was like 13. Okay, that's why.
So
To be fair,
is it not even emulated like piracy wise or what?
No, you can't even emulate piracy wise because it's so hard to break into that game specifically that it's just impossible to emulate any other way.
Interesting.
But at least they're re-releasing the original MGS games with like MGS 1, 2, 3, and then the OG like MS-DOS games that are going to be ported later this year in fall apparently. Which I'm more excited for than that remake that they're doing for MGS 3.
No reason for that to exist.
All right, so I tried looking up some things about the Twitch terms of service. I don't know if I'm like not finding it in the right spot. I thought it would be under like the respecting copyright section, but this kind of concerns me now because I'm involved with like speedrunning communities, and there's a lot of games that people run that like you need emulation to be able to play. Otherwise, like it would be impossible. Like there's a lot of people that like use emulation to like run or to like speedrun games on like Saturn or something, or like Sega Saturn, and especially like arcade games, because like, are you really going to require people to like purchase the original copy?
I mean,
of
you
an
just
arcade
don't say
game?
you're doing. I think it's like a don't ask, don't tell sort of thing. I think that legally, because you're using a ROM, which is like a cracked version of a game, to emulate it, right? It's against TOS, but like you just don't say you're doing it, and then it's fine.
Well, what does cracked mean in this case? Because I'm thinking of in terms of like ripping them. Because when you like take a game and you put it on a computer, that's known as ripping. But I don't know what cracking means. In that
I
case.
mean,
think
like
cracking is just,
people, it's if it ever went to court, it would be perfectly legal for you to like rip your own game, right? But
yeah.
Like the game companies themselves would say that that's an unauthorized copy. So like me ripping a Blu-ray to my hard drive, it's legal, but the game companies would say it's not. But if it went to court, the judge would say it was legal. Like I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
And then like
And
yeah,
plus, like,
the
if you're
Twitch TOS just might be a formality. But if my memory serves me correct, I remember specifically there was an update to Twitch TOS. Maybe they like quietly removed it or something, but there was definitely a point in time, like about 3 years ago or something, where on Twitch's website they were saying like, yeah, you can't use emulators, which is like, yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, maybe they removed that. I don't know.
Maybe it's more like they don't want to endorse the thing or something. Like they don't want people like endorse the use of emulators, yet they'll still use it. Because I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there's tons of channels that are literally just emulator channels, which is fine.
I tried to Control F.
Yeah, because like speedrunning is like emulation is important for like speedrunning. So that's kind of stupid if they don't do that.
You know, my favorite kind of speedrunning are for games that like aren't that popular to speedrun. Like, you know, everyone thinks about like Mario, Sonic, and Zelda when thinking speedrunning, but honestly, look up any like shitty licensed game and there's like a dedicated speedrun community. Like one of my favorites is the infamous. Are you guys familiar with the infamous Superman game for the Nintendo 64?
Oh yeah,
that has a funny speedrun community.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I think there's like a thing where you can like lower the resolution of the game and it runs faster and it doesn't lag as much. And it's just like this tiny screen like in the middle of the TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna lower my
for some reason that's an option.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
literally speedrun the game. And that was what I raised my hand for, but I got my question answered already, which is
Yeah.
me running about like speed.
I don't know if anybody here watches Games Done Quick, but they usually have a segment or like.
I'm going there.
Oh, you are nice.
I'm going to SGDQ on the 28th.
That's awesome. Is that in Minnesota still?
Yeah, it's in Minneapolis, so it's not too far from where I live.
That's awesome. I hope you enjoy yourself. But anyways, they have a
GDQ is a
dedicated.
speedrun convention.
Sorry, it's just a John Favreau gift.
It's a
Yeah.
charity thing.
Yeah.
Arigato, Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, so Games Done Quick is like a speedrun marathon where everybody like gets together and like speedruns games.
That's cool. I'm not far from
Yeah,
there.
so they have like they have the games like grouped together depending on like a theme or something. My favorite one is something called Awful Games Done Quick, which is basically when they speedrun like terrible games. And
Okay.
those are probably like one of the more entertaining ones.
They've done like Superman 64, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Bubsy 3D speedruns are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, go for it.
Yeah. Also, so they usually have like 2 events per year. They have one in summer and one of them like around New Year's. They have not been able to have an event on New Year's because, well, first of all, because the pandemic happened, so they had to like switch to online for a while. But also, the one on New Year's, they originally had that event at Washington D.C., but then they had to move to Florida for some reason.
Mhm.
And now with like everything going on in Florida, they're just like they're not allowed to like have mask mandates in Florida anymore. Like they're not allowed to require vaccinations. And also with everything going on with the whole like don't say gay bill or like they're correct.
Don't be trans.
Yeah,
It's still happening after that.
yeah. And so now they can't have AGDQ like the one at the start of the year in Florida because of all those reasons. And so now they only have like the in-person shows in Minnesota.
Yeah, I was thinking of going to Megaplex this year, and I kind of just I canceled my hotel thing for a few reasons, but that was kind of like, you know,
That's in Florida.
Yeah, it's in Florida. It was fun last year, but yeah, too many conflicting things, and then just like fucking weird cultural tensions. It's like, okay,
yeah,
Florida stuff is true.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I heard about all that stuff from a Floridian speedrunner named Shay, who I'm actually gonna be like seeing there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
About like how
speedrunner.
About like the COVID stuff. Yeah.
Aether Muse, your hand is up. What's up?
Guys, is it okay if I show off some of my Pokemon cards that I've got?
Do it.
Yeah.
Got a Rowlet. Starting off with my most common ones. I'm also going to show off my Ultras. I've got way more cards than this, but
How many are you showing off?
Just a couple, and my
Okay.
Ultra Rares.
Get him closer to the camera.
Yeah.
Well,
let me see that shiny plastic. Ooh, so reflective.
They're in the sleeves, and my Ultra Rares are in top loaders.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks in, evolves from Fennekin. This one's cool. I like this one.
Which one's that?
Noivern evolves from
Oh,
Noibat.
okay, yeah.
Oh, the Bat Wyvern.
Uchiena. And
Adam, you remember when you cheesed the Ancient Wyvern?
Yes.
Salandit. I really like Salandit. Let's see, I got these are worth mentioning because I got both the regular and the reverse holo in the same pack of Noibat.
Oh.
The same booster pack.
I didn't even know. I wasn't aware of reverse hollows. I didn't know that was a thing.
Reverse holos are ones where just the area around the art is hollow and not the actual art.
Oh, okay.
Also, sorry for
Weird.
flashing my middle finger accidentally when I was showing off the card. I'm sorry.
I'm offended.
And here,
Oh my.
and here are my ultra rares.
What's
My
that?
Horizon V.
Is it a deer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Skunk Tank V. My full art Drudigan.
Mm-hmm.
Drudigan?
Wow.
Drudigan.
Miraidon X. See my Charizard V.
Ooh.
And my Simi CRV star, and last one I'm going to show off is my Sandaconda VMAX.
Oh, I love that one.
I also have 2 Radiant Jirachis, so yeah, Sandaconda VMAX. Yeah,
Very
I'll show
nice.
them off.
Someone
You
had
get double the wishes granted.
Someone had an avatar pic of Adam. I don't know what it was. It was like from a stream or something, and he looked like a Noivern.
How do I spell it?
Is it the one where he's like laughing at
He had like the ears.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's.
I found it. Noivern. I just kind of sounded it out.
I also have
Okay.
both Alolan Vulpix as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both Alolan Vulpix from the Silver Tempest expansion.
Those are dope.
Thanks. I was. You should have seen me when I opened my booster pack and I saw Sandaconda VMAX. I was like, oh my god, I got a fucking VMAX! And I was like, it was just like being a kid on Christmas. It was like I felt like I was on top of the world. I'm sorry for flexing and just.
Oh, it's all good.
Can I flex?
You're clearly passionate about Pokemon. I'm happy for you for that.
Yeah. Just talk about it as much as you want.
That's cringe.
I want to flex. I've got a gold and silver soundtrack.
Oh shit. That's pretty cool.
The Johto map there and all the badges.
That's
So
dope.
one record's all silver and one's gold, and it's like
That's pretty cool.
one of my favorite vinyl.
I'm not gonna. I guess my own flex. I'm
Damn.
not gonna show it on
Fucking
camera, but,
Pokemon music on vinyl. That's really interesting.
It's Iron 8-bit. They have a ton
Yeah, I've
of-
bought some stuff there too.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had
Every
those.
I have every single Gen 3 game right now, even the
You know-
GameCube stuff.
You know, one thing I really wish
Cool.
Nintendo would do, Nintendo should just put their music on Spotify. It would make them a crap ton of
Yep.
money, honestly.
No shit.
I think they
Yeah, but
made
then they're
a
like,
music
they're
channel
like,
for a
do we
while.
own? But
I think they have.
they're like,
How
do we
many-
own Spotify? And then they're like, no. And then like, why would we want to be associated with them then?
How many people?
They
How many
seem to
people
own
here
the things
know?
themselves.
How many people here know of Siva Gunner?
I
know. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of him.
Okay, so
I was just gonna say, Aether Moose,
Yeah,
your
go.
hand is still up. Was that you?
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
Siva Gunner, they are a channel. There's some weird like lore behind them, but all you really need to know is that like they're a channel that like pretends to be like this channel that like uploads video game music onto like YouTube and stuff, but they basically just like disguise it as like jokes. Like
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's like
I think you have like some of that in your BRB playlist.
Oh yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. They have a lot of like really funny memes where they just like they somehow like change the MIDI of like the original songs and make it play something different. Like the biggest one is like they'll make some songs sound like the Flintstones theme, or I guess Granddad, as anyone likes to call it. But there's either like just some complete crap. They call it high quality rips.
Mm-hmm.
Like just some complete crap, like just shit posts. Or sometimes they'll like take a song from some game and they'll like remix it into like something different, and it sounds great. But
Yeah, here's one. I'll post it.
Yeah, like one of the more famous ones is like a song from Super Mario World, but they use like the sound font of the song, and it's Witch Doctor, the song Witch Doctor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Instead of the actual song.
Yeah, like it sounds completely normal, and then like halfway through, it just sounds like they just like remix it into Witch Doctor. So it's like.
I hate how limited release everything on IM8-bit is. Half the shit on their website that they advertise is just like sold out forever.
Yeah, they do come back though.
They do?
You just
Oh, you just gotta wait.
You
Okay.
just have to say it is annoying, but they like once a year will recycle it and it'll come back and it'll sell out instantly. But
Yeah, I've been trying to get some of those Silent Hill vinyls. I only got the first one, but
Yeah,
2 and 3
that's-
are like
that-
impossible to find.
yeah, even the first one is
Yeah, it's annoying.
ridiculous.
Discogs.
One unavailable video is
Oh, wait a
hidden.
minute.
I guess one of the BRB songs got taken down.
Oh, oops. Oopsie. Maybe maybe I should check the play. Is that's in my playlist? There's an unavailable
yeah, there's
video.
one unavailable.
Okay, I'll have to remove that because that can just make it. Because sometimes I'll leave the. I'll have to fix that later because I'm logged into the other thing. But sometimes I'll leave the stream just on the BRB songs, and then it'll stop in the middle of the stream, and I'll be upset. Because if it goes to one that's not available, it would stop it, right?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't even like try to play the song.
Oh, it
if
just
it's
skips it?
unavailable. Yeah, it just skips it. It just
Okay.
pretends like it's not there.
Okay. Jay, your hand is up. What's up?
Well, speaking in topics of video games, I was wondering if you people have ever seen the official trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Not to mention the whole Five Nights at Freddy's.
Not yet. I'm
actual trailer being
gonna
leaked by
watch
some
along.
idiots.
I'm gonna react to it on stream. So I would prefer for nothing to be said about it because I'm gonna react to that at some point.
I will just say that it's kind of short.
Don't say
All I can
anything.
say is
Don't
that
say
the trailer
anything. Don't
looks
say
as if
anything
it's
about
a way
it.
budget for a
I'm gonna
Jason
take
Blum
off my
movie.
It is a movie.
headphones.
It is a movie.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a movie.
Well,
Adam, are
speaking
you
of gaming,
playing
But it's the most. I'm so hyped for it. It's gonna win all. It's gonna win best film.
It's
It's
gonna
Jason
make
You're
a
gonna
lot
watch
of
it
money.
on a streaming service.
He'll win best film.
Knows.
I love how I tweeted that and nobody understood that I was like parodying Jason Blum's tweet.
Wait, what was your tweet?
Well, let's see if I
parodied
can.
the RRR tweet.
Yeah, I literally I used the same words as him, but for Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it quick. It shouldn't be that far. I don't tweet often enough that it's impossible to find my old tweets, which I like. I can just kind of scroll down and I'm already like a year ago. Some
barely
people
tweet.
it's difficult.
Yeah, I like unfollow people who tweet like every 10 minutes.
How do I find?
Five Nights at Freddy's, is that like a point and click game?
Technically, it was
sort of in the first few series.
Where the fuck
Kind
is
of.
it? It was like a quote tweet. It was when he. Oh God. When was this? Surely it wasn't pre-February.
You tweeted too much.
No, I think it's just.
Tweeted too much.
I think it has an issue when you control F, because Twitter doesn't load everything on the page when you. Yeah.
So here's a quick tip. If you're on Twitter on mobile, I don't know if they still have.
Okay, I got it.
But you can actually like search up specific key terms on like people's Twitter account to like find find certain tweets that they might have made. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can really there's ways you can really fine tune your search. I know, but
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
just-
use that often.
Just type in like 2 gay 2 lift and then like one of the words from the tweet if
Yeah,
you can remember it.
FNAF.
And
I said I'm going with FNAF winning best pick. You heard it here first. Mark it down, please. If I'm right, I'm awarding myself my own Oscar.
Wins best visual effects at the Oscars.
It's FNAF time. Don't miss it. And no, I'm not involved in any way, nor do
No,
I
it's
know
Friday
anyone
time.
associated with the
Already
movie. Just see it. And no, I don't think anybody understood that I was parodying him and
I
his
guess
tweet,
not many people know about the RRR tweet. I
which
don't
is
know.
very funny to me. There were like a couple articles written about it, and I've mentioned it like 800 times, and he deleted the tweet. You know,
Why did you delete it?
because it was like so insane.
RRR wasn't even nominated for best picture.
And it was never going to be nominated.
It was nominated for best foreign film at the Golden Globes.
So real quick, I'm gonna head out for a bit, but I'm gonna come back
Sure.
later. I
All right.
need to get home.
Thank you.
Okay, cool.
I did like Jason. I like Jason Blum though.
I like him as a businessman.
He saw Blackberry, and that was just really I saw.
I've been watching like a lot of interviews of him. Like he seems like he really can't I know he's like it's his money on the line, so he's got to talk about the projects like in a certain way. But I like how he's always mentioning the director's name and being really positive and talking about how good they are as a person. Like, I'm sure that like helps their career.
He's a really good producer. He's a
I
really
think
good
you
producer.
mentioned it on. I think you mentioned it on your Lahane review, but I think Once Upon a Time, according to, I think you can find it. It's called Le Video Club, and it's basically a French channel that you can only find. But I think Once Upon a Time, he saw Lahane during its first release in Cannes, and originally I think he was one of the distributors that was going to buy it, but I think he was too late to own the rights towards the movie. But that was back in 1995. Search it up. It's called Le Video Club, and if you put Jason Blum, you can find the video that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Jason Blum seems like a nice guy. He gave the new Matt Johnson film Blackberry a shout out on his Twitter, which I thought was cool.
Good.
And I also saw Blackberry, which was really fun. The funniest thing about
Yes.
Blackberry was this is like extremely minor spoilers, but if you see my new profile picture, it's Rayman and his dong, and I think there was a Rayman poster in
Okay.
in the game as
In the movie.
film, and yeah. I also found another Rayman ad related to what I have in Rayman 3 where he literally pees on snow. Here, I'm going to put the link in chat if you want to see it,
Okay.
but it's so
Yeah,
bizarre.
Like a Calvin.
I saw Blackberry in theaters. And,
Nice.
it
A lot
was
of people are watching
awesome.
it.
It
Wow.
seemed like
Yes.
it seemed like a lot of people that just went into it because they thought it was like a black movie. It didn't look like Matt Johnson fans. There was like some older
My
couples
theater was
too.
old people and they
I
really
was
loved it.
I was so happy with how many people were like laughing and
Good.
being like I heard like an old couple being like, "This is good."
You know, like
It's
his
like-
Matt Johnson's
That is good.
Matt Johnson's brand of comedy and sense of humor is like very widely appealing, but it's just so difficult for Canadian artists to get out there because like just a lot of Americans just don't know that Canada exists. And so you need to like get a good producer or a good studio to like advertise it to people, and then they'll figure it out. Like Trailer Park Boys was like nobody had heard of Trailer Park Boys until it was on Netflix, and everybody in Canada had known about it for like a fucking decade, and all of a sudden it's like everybody likes Trailer Park Boys now. It's like this shit existed. You could have like found it, you could have seen it on the internet, but just Americans just don't watch. Like they have to be fed their content.
Is there a bit of quality control there though? Like the really good Canadian stuff, it always breaks through. You know what
Eventually.
I mean? Yeah, eventually. It shouldn't be that way, but there is kind of a, I don't know, it's not a good thing, but I don't know, stuff like that, like I don't know, it's like a quality control almost.
I was saying like even the good stuff, it takes a fucking miracle in decades for it to like even break out and get out there. Like fucking you guys know about a lot of good Canadian shit because you watch my channel, right? But the average American doesn't know Xavier Dolan. They don't know Kenny versus Spenny. Like there's a lot of, there's some good shit out there. The average American doesn't know about Matt Johnson still, even if they've seen Blackberry. Most people haven't. Like it's really just people need to be fed their content, which is just frustrating, but it provides me with a reason to exist, I guess.
Is what's that show? It's like Kenny versus Spenny, but like for normies. It's Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like kind of like the same format, and I'm like, and then people will be like, "Do you like it?" And I'm like, "It's just like Kenny versus Spenny, but like
not as good
without the bite." Yeah, and then like
without the edge,
Spenny, and then they're like, "Oh, this is
Spenny
good."
without any personality, I would say, like it's fine.
I'm so sorry, but I'm just gonna head off. If that's okay.
Sure. Have a good one. Thanks for joining.
Bye. See you guys next
Bye
time.
bye.
See you next month.
Easy.
I showed like Kenny versus Spenny is appealing because I showed my dad the fought episode, and he was like he's a like old man, and he was
It's
like,
very funny.
burst out laughing.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it on?
It's like so good.
Yeah. Is it on Netflix? Can I catch it on like?
No, you can't. You have to torrent it, or actually, you can watch a lot of it on YouTube. You can find Kenny uploaded a bunch on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How long has it been
He
running
literally
for?
said himself, didn't he, that no one wants it.
I do hate how Nirvana the band show is not available in the States easily. You had to
I
like,
feel-
pirate it from CBC.
I feel like Kenny has not tried. Like, I feel like there's more streaming services that exist now than the last time he tried. I feel like it could be on fucking Tubi. You know? Didn't they just take like Cool
I
Cat?
was literally about to say that.
Didn't they just take Cool Cat Saves the Kids?
Dude,
At this
you
point,
have
I saw a bunch of
Adam,
art house
you have
films
to
at
you have
Tubi
to at
for
least
some
watch
reason.
2 minutes of
Yeah, I'm
it
not sure
on
why.
Tubi. Derek's like new cut of
Oh.
I don't know if it's like the same for the DVD.
Oh, the
but his
Tubi
new
cut?
cut on the Tubi one is so fucking funny. There's literally like okay, I'm gonna use my fingers. Literally, there's a part where like it's
Oh, no,
stretched out the
fingered.
footage, and you can
Oh, no.
see different footage from like a different scene.
Director's
playing
Cut
in the
2022.
background.
Wow.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
This is cool. This is funny. I like that he's on a streaming service. Cool Cat Saves the Kid, the director's cut.
Isn't it like what happened with Amazon where they just drop a bunch of random stuff?
I mean,
for
I think you can put
streamers,
anything
or
on
mostly it's
Tubi,
just
so I feel like Kenny should. Oh my god. Sorry, there's some Derek videos I never reacted to.
That's my favorite interview that you've done, Adam. Is the
Kenny Hutz?
Yeah, I just feel like you guys were easily on the exact same page in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was easy to
noticed
talk to.
There was no 420 awards this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming.
I think for the
He keeps tweeting that it's coming.
It's coming.
It's the second time that he basically just postponed.
It's coming, but they might never address that there's a year gap. I don't know. The real question is, if it's still coming, is this the 2023 420 awards, or is this the belated 2022 420 awards? That's the real question.
I think he's gonna go with your approach.
It's not
with,
a
like the
year-
list
it's not
videos.
for the-
It just comes out when it comes out.
Yeah, will it be the polls from
Like they did with
2022?
The first 420 awards, just do it in front of the audience. Because that was probably like the funniest thing he's ever done. Just do it in front of all these people who live in Las Vegas, and they all just.
I will be right back.
wanna do
Hold
for
on.
this old stick.
Will Johnny Depp be nominated and win a lot again?
Of course.
I want Johnny Depp to win hottest actor.
Very well
Did he win it
said.
at
Very
one
well
point? Hottest actor go to Johnny Depp.
Wasn't
for
there-
the 420
Yeah,
awards?
he did. I think in the early 2000s. No, I mean, sorry. I mean, yeah, I think he did in the late 2010s or something. I think.
You know, wasn't there the category best video game at the 420 awards they were going to add, but it's never fluctuated or something?
I don't think.
I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
they
Derek's
added it.
ever played a video game.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think he
he
played a
probably
video
hasn't.
game. He
He's
probably
way
just
too
like
old to play it anymore.
he probably just like as with
He's
his
probably
kids are.
played
It's like
Mario Kart. But
Or
then I'm like,
Minecraft.
where would he have played it? He seems like he doesn't have children, and I don't
Maybe-
even know if he's ever
maybe-
had
Thank God.
a
He's
He's
serious
gonna
Thank God.
nominate
Yeah.
Candy Crush.
He is someone who should not
He's
be
gonna
around. them.
nominate Candy
Yeah.
Crush.
it's going to be Minecraft, Roblox, Mario. I don't know, some other stuff that he thinks kids are
Candy
into.
Crush.
How about
Every old
Fortnite?
person's
You can always add
favorite game.
Fortnite if you add the
Fortnite.
You
category.
guys ever play bowls? It's like really good.
What?
Wait, bowls.
What's
It's like
bowls?
Balls.
well,
Maybe
maybe
we all have
Balls
balls.
3D.
yeah,
Balls
like, no, like
3D.
this.
Oh, Bulls. Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey.
I
Whoa.
played
Oh,
that. Oh,
those?
yeah.
That's that's their favorite game, I bet.
Well, I don't know.
Y'all
Mike's
playing
sweet.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Balls.
Am I the only one
Balls.
playing Tears of the Kingdom?
No, I play Tears
Nah,
of the Kingdom. I've been
Tears of the Kingdom's awesome.
I need to get back to it. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting into
All right.
it.
I got through all 4 dungeons actually, and I did all the towers, and I'm halfway through the shrines. So I've been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, apparently.
I thought it was Tears. I thought it was Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears
Oh,
of the
this is my
Kingdom.
time.
Tears.
Like, this game's gonna last me all
Tears
summer.
of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm not rushing.
Kiki, what's
the
up?
game is huge, apparently.
A couple thingies. So, firstly, I got a rant about modern vinyl pressings.
Why?
So, IM8-bit does some cool releases, but their quality control has been very hit or miss for me. Like, I ordered the Persona 5 soundtrack from them a while ago, and when I got it, first of all, they sent them in. The records came in paper sleeves, and that's stupid because there's no reason that a modern vinyl release shouldn't have polyline sleeves because we know better now. We know
Royale or Persona Royale or the OG soundtrack?
The original one. Yeah, it's like we all know that paper vinyl sleeves scratch the records, especially in shipping when they like shift around and stuff. It's like, yeah, there was that. It's got a whole bunch of like surface scratches, and for some reason, the records themselves looked like they had like someone scribbled some scratches on them for some reason, and you could like hear them on like when I played them. And it's like, what the fuck? I paid $150 for this. Like, you'd expect some level of, you know, quality control. Like,
That sucks.
yeah, it was fucking stupid. But yeah, like on the other side of things, I also saw Blackberry. I saw it twice this month. Also, Adam, check Discord. So I thought it was really, really good. I took my dad to see it the second time, and that's when it sort of
Oh, nice.
addressed. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
name drop
it's
me?
like, I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, it's like yeah, I didn't have a ton of time to talk to them. I felt really bad. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
it's like yeah, the theater was really, really packed.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was packed. And Matt was joking about how the entire Toronto audience for this film was there. And then yeah, it's like he was a super nice dude. And I wish I got to talk to Jay more too, but I just asked him a couple general questions. And then yeah, I thought Blackberry was really good. It was kind of like a step back in time since like I remember when the iPhone first came out, it's like everyone was like, what the fuck? Where's the stylus? Like what are you supposed to do with this? But it's like yeah, Blackberry ultimately just faded out of existence for the most part.
That's my Father's
this
Day
is
gift
a-
to my dad this year. Is
Mhm.
he's still a BlackBerry guy, and they are still making new phones. I did not know that, but he's a loyalist, and that's the Father's Day plan this year.
That's funny.
Did
I'm not
anyone
sure if it's a
know
hot take or
anyone
anything, but
who had a BlackBerry?
I knew a couple
for
people
Al.
that
I
had
don't
Blackberries, and they were so fucking elitist about it.
Well, and that's fine.
I had
That's
three
fine.
friends in elementary
My mom
school
had
whose-
one,
sorry.
and then one person in my school had one, and I was like, I want one. And
I can't even judge.
I don't know
That's-
when.
I don't know the.
It's
Stop. I just had a flip phone.
Were
Yeah.
they supposed to be like the keyboard? I think that's their thing, right? They had the first, like you flip the thing up and you had the full keyboard. I think that was there.
So apparently you are correct. They are still selling BlackBerry phones. I can put a link to an Amazon link for a new BlackBerry phone. You can buy for no joke $250. Here, I'll put the link in chat if you want to see it for yourself.
Trust me, man. Trust
But
me.
I
man.
think the company, I think they're a,
All BlackBerry.
I think
He's
BlackBerry is
also
an
a business
encryption
guy.
company now, from what I looked
Yeah,
up.
they mostly deal with cybersecurity. Yeah.
Which is probably a smart move.
I'm not sure this is a hot.
That's
I'm not sure this is a hot take or anything, but I really love BlackBerry. But I will say this: before this, I saw the movie Air, and I feel like Blackberry is a much better movie about this sort of subject matter than Air, in my opinion, because that one felt like it was just riding off of Oscars, whereas Blackberry felt like it was just its own thing without relying on those tropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Air, but I don't know. Isn't there the Flamin' Hot Cheeto movie coming out or something?
BlackBerry, a Canadian company.
Did you say the Flaming Hot Cheeto movie?
Well, it's another biopic about like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and it's gonna be on Disney Plus at the end of
What
the
the
month.
fuck?
I think
Hell
I've
yeah, I'll
heard
watch
something
that.
about that.
What?
It's just like I'm just picturing some guys in like a garage, and they're like making a bunch of like food, and they
What
go,
the
"This is
heck?
good."
No, no way they're making a biopic about Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
It's been out already, but it's going to Disney Plus.
Is it satire? Is it satire or is it real?
Hang on,
No, it's
wait.
a real biopic.
No, I have to watch that trailer.
Is it about Chester Cheetah or like the brand, like the
Oh my
like the
God.
food itself?
No, it's basically
It's like the
It's about the
founder.
inventor who made the Cheetos.
Not
Man.
the creator of Hot Cheetos. Apparently, the guy is like it was some employee that actually makes like because Cheetos and like the Flamin' Hot food section of like a factory work together, and then some guy actually made Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and now it's becoming a movie.
I would have thought it would be a movie about Chester Cheetah. That sounds. I don't know.
In the
what is
IMDb
this?
trivia, for Flamin' Hot 2023, it says Frito-Lay informed the producers of this film that the story was false in 2019, but they went ahead with the film anyway.
That's funny.
Maybe it'll
Yeah, why
just be
not?
like
Man.
a food fight, but every character is Chester Cheetah.
Man, I just
Yeah.
How do
there
you
was a
do
point
that?
in time. There was a point in time when like these companies would like release like video games about their mascots. Like there was a Chester the Cheetah.
Yeah.
There was actually 2 Chester the Cheetah games.
The 3 Burger
There
King
was,
games that you could get at Burger
Sneak
King.
Oh yeah, Sneak King. There was also
Sneak King was funny.
there was also a
I
Sega
owned it.
Genesis. There was also a Sega Genesis game about like Ronald McDonald that was also made by Treasure. If anybody knows who that is.
Yeah, that game is apparently surprisingly
There was
good.
also a Doom version
Yeah.
on the Czech serial. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Check Square.
Oh, yeah.
School Spot.
There's an ironic fan base based around it, even though it's a Doom ripoff.
Yeah.
They should make a biopic movie about how Twitter was saved by Elon. And it should be like a really pro Elon Musk.
I don't. There's so much like we're in like kind of like an information overload at this point because there's so much interesting shit that you could like. What would you if someone were to like tell that like if let's say we got a documentary just about like President Donald J. Trump, and not just during the 4 years where he was president, but like all the shit that's happening now and like Jan 6 and like all like. How do you fit that into a documentary? Like, what do you even how much information is even out there that's like true and relevant? And like, how do you decipher like what to put in? Like, there's way too much information now that it's like just kind of an overload. Like, yeah.
Oh, no,
it's-
you could do
I think the best.
People love that,
keep
though.
spamming
People love
it
It would
for,
have to
like,
be a
a couple of
docu-series.
years.
That's why we need
With Trump
AI
as
to
an
make movies.
example-
They will.
With Trump as an example, I think the most interesting approach was like what Charlie Kaufman did, which is like just like make a fictitious version of Trump and then just write like
Mhm.
what his personality is, like nonsense, and then
Yeah.
you can kind of communicate a lot better than like if you were going by like the facts.
Yeah, but what
It's
if you
like,
wanted to make a
you know, it is an
documentary? What
interesting
if you wanted to actually talk about the facts?
I don't know.
What's that one movie? What's that one movie
Yeah,
that
you could,
stars?
but it'd be.
What's
it
that
would
one
be an
movie that
overload.
stars? What's that one movie that stars? What's the guy's name?
Robert
God.
Downey Jr.
No, Leonardo DiCaprio, where he like plays like some rich guy that like I did something with like the
Wolf of Wall Street?
airline.
Wolf of Wall
No,
Street.
no,
Aviator.
The Aviator.
Catch Me If You Can.
Can.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like
Yeah.
I think
Oh, wait,
that movie was
that's
about.
also to do with airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And directed by
well,
Martin Scorsese.
there's a it might have been Aviator, but there was a movie that he played some rich guy that like near the end of his life he just started to not be there mentally, like he started to go crazy, and
Mhm.
That's the
last
Aviator.
few years of his life he just like spent it in like in isolation within his own like skyscraper or something. And I kind of thought that might be like what will happen to Trump eventually. Like if he doesn't like end up in jail or anything, he might just become like so like reclusive to society that he might just like live his life like just.
I think he's not going to be isolated. He's got tons of fans.
He already lives.
There's like, have you seen like? You just look at like Nick Adams' Twitter account. He'll retweet like somebody took a video of Trump golfing, and then you look at the Trump take a swing. You don't even see where the golf ball goes, but everybody's like, "Oh, great shot, President Trump!" And then Nick Adams' quote tweet is like, "Wow, President Trump killed that drive," and it's just like. It seems like there's always going to be those to him. Like I don't know. It seems like there's just going to be people that will just say whatever.
Adams, he'll post a picture of like an AI generated Donald Trump lifting weights, and his
Oh,
muscles
yeah.
are bulging, and then he'll be like, "This
He
is
did
the
those kind of
greatest
teasers
thing
last year.
ever," and I'll be
It's
like,
so it's so funny
"Do you
how
think
like
Trump will?"
It's so funny, like how
where Donald Trump is listening to a Taylor Swift song in the car.
it's so funny to me that like so many people on the right wing are like, oh, I hate gay people, or like I dislike the idea of being gay, and yet they're like weirdly sipping for a man.
And also, they
Like,
draw
like,
him with
yeah.
like huge muscles and
weird.
stuff all the time. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tate, your hand is up. What's up?
Sorry.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
All right, so a couple things. First off, feels really good to be back in here. This is the first hangout I've been in a couple years.
Come back.
So
Welcome back.
It feels good. Secondly, Livia Manser, I'm happy to also be a supporter of the YMS Highlights channel now.
Oh, thank you.
I just signed on to do that this month. Oh shit. Give me one quick second. My dog's scratching at my door.
Sure.
One quick
We'll
second.
we'll wait.
Your dog wants to say hi too.
Can I say something about, one thing I did recently? I actually made timestamps for the last Patreon hangout. I might do one for this one once it's done live streaming.
Sure.
I go in the comment section. I made a live stream. I did like timestamps for the last one, and an idea I've been thinking of, and you could say no to this at all, but maybe I could have like do like Patreon hangout highlights or something, like, because I'm starting to get into like Adobe Premiere. But
If you want, I'm not going to stop you from doing whatever you want to do. I'm not going to request it. I'm not going to say that like I don't feel like it's necessary, but if you want to do it, I won't stop you.
I don't know. It's just like, because I put these, whenever these hangouts are done, I always like putting them in the background while I do stuff. So maybe it would just be more for me more than anyone else. But it's an idea I've been thinking of doing, and it would just be very simple highlights. But I figured I'd run it past you because I was like, maybe you won't be if you're comfortable or not with this. But if you're okay with it,
I would say run it past Olivia, because like I don't know. So sometimes there have been parts of Hangouts that have made it onto the highlights channel, right?
Well, are you okay with it, Olivia? Maybe if I start doing like highlights based on these Patreon hangouts or something, or if you're not okay with it, I won't do it.
It's pretty rare for me to highlight the Patreon hangouts.
Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it.
What do you look for?
They don't really do all that
the
well
Patreon.
view-wise
The
a
last
lot of the
time-
time, and a lot of comments are like kind of bitchy about it. So
Yeah,
Okay,
I did see one. I did see one hangout that had all the comments that were just like, "Man, everyone sounds like kind of autistic or something."
It was
Like,
an
that was-
idea I just had for a while, but I
Yeah.
might not go through with it. I don't know. It was just something I had in my mind because I like putting these hangouts in the background and stuff.
Sure. Tate, what's up?
That's fine.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been buying a lot of movies lately. I'm not gonna like pull them out and start showing because
Sure.
like, I bought a ridiculous amount. I did two of note though is that Adam, I'm sure you probably knew about this, but on the A24 website they're selling special like collector's edition 4Ks of some of their stuff. So I got this.
Yeah, I
giant
got that
fucking
too.
Lighthouse one.
I hate how they don't fit on the shelf though. Like, go fuck
Yeah.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, make them a normal
the-
size.
Yeah, it's
Did they
really
not hear the complaints with the Midsummer one? Why are they doing that with the Lighthouse? Like, fuck. They're good
It's
movies.
one of those where, yeah, I don't know why some companies do that
only
with their Blu-ray
assumption-
cases, their Blu-rays and 4Ks, where
They're
taller than the
absolute.
standard cases are.
It is insanity to do that.
'Cause they
They must
assumption
not
is
have
that
Blu-ray collections they must not actually be a part of the same market. They must not have a shelf at home.
Maybe not. They
Yeah.
I know that like the I have a Blu-ray of Feels Good Man, the
Yep.
Pepe documentary, and the sleeve for that is taller. That got me
Oh,
really
yeah.
fucking irritated because that was the first one
Big
I got
oops.
that did that. And then the Possession Blu-ray that I have did that as
Same.
well.
Yeah, but they're still nowhere near as tall as the Midsummer and Lighthouse ones.
Yeah, these are
Those
checked
ones are
in.
like
I
the
have
other
no
ones you talked
idea
about are
if
like
this is-
slightly taller.
And then I don't know if you own a physical copy of Marcel the Shell with Shoes on.
I
but
do.
I
they
do.
have- that's like a regular sized one
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah,
that you
there's
bought
no
off the same
good
website.
reason. Like, they still make collector's edition 4K that aren't that stupid. So why does it matter? You know, it's stupid.
I just looked up. I'm kind of sad that the Aftersun Blu-ray on H24.com is sold out, but I want to get that at some
The
point.
which
It's
one?
Sold out. As it's Aftersun.
After Sun. Yeah, well, it's not 4K, so Fuck him.
But I want it physically. But I guess
I
don't
loved
know.
After Sun.
Was it like limited release? Like it's not.
I think it was, but I looked on it. It says sold out, so I don't know. Maybe it's just like a sold out. They didn't have that many copies, but I tried buying one.
They'll
and it's
probably
like,
restock
30
that.
Yeah.
Why would they
wonder
not
at some point,
restock
though.
After Sun? That'd be silly if they
That'd be
didn't
weird.
do it. I just want that Climax
got one.
VHS.
Same.
Yeah, I remember about that. I
Yeah.
wonder if that even works on the VHS player.
I'm sure it does.
probably
Yeah, it
works
would
like
have to. Yeah.
480p for a VHS
It
tape.
reminds me, this reminds me of something. I think for with Street Fighter 6 coming out, this reminds me of something that the Capcom did for Street Fighter 2's anniversary, where they produced like a limited edition cartridge for Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo, but they literally said on the back of the cartridge, "Don't put this in the Super Nintendo, or else it'll catch on fire."
That's funny.
I'm not even kidding. That they actually said that on the back of a Street Fighter 2 anniversary cartridge that they produced in limited quantities, but you literally can't play it, or else it'll set your Super Nintendo on fire.
1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Is it just like is that game like just a ROM of a Super Nintendo game? Because
What, the
like
Street Fighter 2 thing? I don't know. It's just like it's something they did for the anniversary is like a limited thing for Street Fighter 2's anniversary, but then like you legally can't put it in the Super Nintendo unless if you want to set it on fire. That's just so funny to me.
I'm just wondering, like, are they expecting people to like? Well, is it an actual game or is it just like a collector's item or something?
I think it's an actual game, but it legally can't run on the Super Nintendo. But it's super rare and it's not worth buying right now. But there's other Street Fighter 2 ports you can get on like the modern systems.
Is it ripped? Like, is the ROM ripped online?
I have no idea. I actually have no idea. But
because I have like a cartridge that you can like load different ROMs on and like play them on the Super Nintendo. And I'm wondering if that's a actual game that's ripped online and I can like download it. I could like try running it on my Super Nintendo. Because like how can a game make it run and catch on fire? Like is the cartridge like built in for that or?
I don't know. I just remember hearing they literally said on the back of the box. I don't own it or anything. It's just something I just remember on the back of my head, especially with Street Fighter 6 coming out next week. So that was just the thing that came to my head when you were talking about like VHS stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we were talking about emulation earlier. That there are ways to like still play games like that on consoles, not on emulators, but just like if you just download the game somewhere and then you could just because like I have something called the FX Packs Pro, which is basically like a flash cart that literally can like just be put into your Super Nintendo, and I think it's region free. And I can just access any Super Nintendo game I want just from that because like I can literally download the entirety of the library in areas that I won't mention here, and then just like put it on a micro SD into the cartridge and just play whatever I want, and it's cool. And you can also play like ROM hacks on it. You can pretty much just load anything that works on a more accurate Super Nintendo emulator. And yeah, because I really wanted to play like Earthbound on a real console, but I couldn't do that because I don't really want to do it on emulation. So I just bought that and was able to load the game on
Why
that
don't you want to
cartridge.
play
And then
Earthbound on emulation? Is there a reason you shouldn't?
Well, sometimes it's a little inconvenient. Like I don't play too many PC games on my computer, and plus, I couldn't figure out for the longest time how to plug in my computer into the television without like the performance like going
Okay.
down. But I found out that you have to like set your because I have a laptop, and you have to set the computer to like only display one screen, and you have to like set it to the second monitor, and
Okay.
that's how I was able to like replay like other PC games I'm meaning to get around to, like Fez. But like having both screens on, it just like murders the playback of the games or whatever. So yeah, and then Earthbound comes out on the Super Nintendo Online service, and I was like, well, shit. But I mean, it's still cool to have that as a little thing for just playing any Super Nintendo game I can. Because
it's cool that Nintendo's putting their stuff on. I don't know. You know, one thing I realized
Some of
they had
it.
the GBA.
Yeah. Actually,
They
you know
have
what? You know what? They recently came out with GBA and GBC games on this online, and they didn't launch it with any Pokemon games.
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with
like
them? Because
I didn't say
the
no,
whole
it's
the reason why
requires a lot of
the reason why is because the
whatever they're called.
the entire infrastructure of Pokemon is like to make you forget about the old games. They're like, no, just play these new ones. The old Pokemon don't matter anymore.
Here's the funniest part though. They actually have one Pokemon game that's going to come out on the Game Boy system thing, and it's the trading card game.
Game
Like,
Boy
that's the only
system
one.
thing? What do you mean? Oh, are they doing like a retro Game Boy?
Yeah, sorry. It's Game Boy Color. They're doing both Game Boy and Game Boy Color in like the same service, but they're gonna have like the trading card game on there
Oh.
at some point. But not the other games for some reason.
Sorry, what is it called? Is it just called Game Boy Color? Like what?
Game Boy. I think it's like Game Boy.
Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy something.
Yeah. So they
Oh,
have
What?
It's also somewhat
So
separate.
it's Game Boy games for the Switch. I thought you were. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
how
like-
many
it's
games?
like
What the hell? Free?
Not a lot. Well, so you get it. You're able to play NES, SNES, and Game Boy right now if you have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, and then you get some extra services like that if you get the expansion, which I don't really think is worth it. But you get like Sega Genesis, you get N64, and you also get Game Boy Advance. But I don't know if those libraries are big enough to justify it. But if you have like online, like the standard online service, it's worth it in my opinion.
Damn,
got to
I
play-
should like.
Separate company too. Like they do, they're part of Nintendo, but the Pokemon company or whatever it is, they do their own thing, and that's why the quality control is not there with Tears of the Kingdom and things like that, because
Man.
they are a bit of a separate entity as well.
Yeah.
I should play. I
if
should
you-
replay all these
if you
Pokemon
wanna
games that I
play A
played.
game that makes you feel like you're a kid again, but doesn't require a lot of emulations. I'm not sure if you've heard about this, but you probably heard this before. But there's this company where you can play NES, SNES, and even Game Boy games like you're a kid again called Analog. They basically turn these like say an NES console but make them modern. However, it's one of those things where you have to pay like $500 because it's the modern way to play something like a Game Boy to play Pokemon.
Is that like a console kind of thing?
Yeah, it's their own console of Game Boy, SNES, Genesis, pretty much all the things
Oh
that
my
you love
God.
as a kid. But
Are the
revamped
games
for
like
modern
loaded
use.
onto the console, or do you have to like get them yourself?
You have to get the games for yourself. It's basically not an emulation console. It's basically like a modern. Let's see right here. Like right now, they have a modern version of the Game Boy, and even then, they said that it's not an emulation console. You basically have to buy the games your own and play like an HD version of Pokemon. That's pretty cool that there's a company that you have to buy. You have to use like piracy or emulations to get that feeling. You could actually buy a modern version of a Game Boy just to play Pokemon.
Tate, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just had like I think one other
Sure.
big thing I was gonna mention. Aside from with those A24 orders, I also got one of those tiny little like Marcel replicas.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
that's so cute.
That looks awesome.
Were they selling those?
Absolutely. Yeah, I got it with the order, and I got this maybe like a week and a half ago or so. It's like $30, so only
wow.
get it if you like can afford it and you really want it, which I did. But I was gonna say that tomorrow, when I got back on the call here, I heard that you guys were just wrapping up a bit of convention talk, and I'm going to a horror convention tomorrow in Dallas, which I'm really excited about. Because there's going to be some really big names there. Like it's a very interesting lineup. Because
quick question: is somebody named Dead Meat going to be there?
I don't know if Dead Meat's going to be there. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know if they're going to be there. Like, are you asking like as a speaker or a guest? Or like...
No, just curious because I know Dead Meat likes to go to a lot of those conventions.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think it's like I fucking forget the name right now. But anyway, it has a very interesting like stacking of guests. Like it has Barbara Steele, who was in 8.5, who's going to be there. It's got a lot of like the core like team of people, like casts and the directors from Killer Clowns from Outer Space there.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if there's like a specific reason other than I know that this year I think is going to be the 35th anniversary of that movie. So
Is
maybe
there a lot
that's
of
why they're
actors
teaming
that
up.
came from like the 70s horror background?
Actually, yeah. I was also gonna say John Carpenter's gonna be there, as well as a couple of the cast members from The Thing. I don't know why. I'm happy they're there. I don't know why they're there, but I'm happy that they're gonna be there. I think
But I assume Kurt Russell isn't
the
going to be
actor-
there.
Is he? I didn't see him in the lineup, but yeah.
Do you think John Carpenter has heard like comparisons to his movie and Among Us?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a 0% chance at this
I
point.
mean, he has a
since Among
son.
Us has
I'm
been
sure
out
his
for,
son
like,
is aware about that
3
game being
years.
compared to the
He probably-
thing.
He probably plays Among Us. He probably considers himself a ghostwriter for Among Us.
You know, John Carpenter wanted to make a Dead Space movie for the longest time, but EA wouldn't allow him or something. But he's well versed in the video games, I think.
Interesting.
Tom Savini's gonna
There's
be there.
gonna be
I'm
a
gonna
lot
try and
more
get my
video game movies.
Dawn of
He
the Dead Blu-ray
loves
signed
playing
right
a
now.
video game.
And Keith David is going to be there, and he's who I'm most excited to see because, well, obviously for like The Thing and everything he's been in, I'd go bankrupt if I took everything I wanted him to sign with me. But I'm really happy, especially because I'm gonna get my copy of Marcy's Journal signed by him since he was Andreas in Amphibia. And it's wild. Like, if you haven't seen that show, it's gonna sound really stupid when I say it, but like Amphibia is something where like it's become my favorite animated series I've ever seen. And for what it is, the weird thing is that no show has really like hit the nerve it does with me except for like 6 Feet Under.
Okay.
And it's so
Isn't that kind of like
it's so
BoJack
I'll,
Horseman, where the
uh,
first season starts off surreal, but then the rest
I'll
of the
watch
season becomes
list
very
it.
depressing?
Yeah, it's
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay.
It's I think it's one of like the most highly recommended shows on there right now.
Okay.
But,
You can watch that alongside Gravity Falls if you have time for that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's amazing, but it's like one of the biggest complaints people have with it is that sort of like the story structure feels different from like the first season to the rest, although I think everything that's in the whole show is pretty important to the story, but that's almost like a consensus. I'm not saying, I know that like people hate saying like you just got to push through the first or to like a certain point or anything for you to start liking a show, but
Okay.
I thought it was at least
That's
enjoyable
usually the case
throughout.
with
but
popular
then-
shows like this.
Which episode would you say is where it gets good?
So I think I mean, looking back on it, I think they're all amazing. But
Okay.
I think at the first, probably maybe like the 10th episode is where it kind of takes a bit of a more like, it lets you look more into what it's going to become. And then like the 20th episode, which is the season 1 finale, is where like everybody is like, oh my God, I know what the show's going to try and start doing.
Okay. How many? It's 3 seasons, and it's
it's
not
think, like-
continuing. It's like definitive ending.
Yeah, it ended last year.
Okay.
The series finale actually aired on my birthday last year, and it was like the best gift I could have received.
It's dope.
But
What about Owl House? That's also a popular thing.
I
just
love
alongside
the Owl
Amphibia.
House. That ended, I think, like last month.
Yeah, I heard that one ended.
It's good, and I really like it, but Amphibia resonated with me so much harder.
Awesome.
The only thing I watched on Disney Plus recently was just Isle of Dogs because it just happened to be there and I loved it, and I haven't really checked out anything else on the platform. I do like how the way that Disney Plus like categorizes some of the films is interesting. Like they'll have cats and dogs, and I just think it was so funny how Isle of Dogs was like placed right next to Bluey, like two
Oh.
completely different like tones of content.
Yeah, they're probably not aware.
One other like little thing I was gonna mention, sort of like about why I'd mention Amphibia, Adam, is because I know I forget exactly which Sardonicast episode it was, but you gave like some quick praise to the Amazing World of Gumball.
Yes.
So I was really happy to hear that because
Okay.
I've been going back and rewatching and viewing that show ever since like I was in high school. And yeah, it's one I would say I think of Amphibia at times whenever I think of Gumball, because even though like no show does what I would go as far as to say no show does what Gumball does, because with like how creative it gets with its presentation, but it's definitely one of those series where it's definitely geared towards like an audience for everybody, but it doesn't ever treat them like they think they're stupid.
Yeah,
I added it to my list. So.
I always
Not to mention Gumball has like a lot of memes surrounding, especially one where they make fun of like a certain demographic that you hear in the internet. You know what I mean?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You mean
So,
like the kind where it's like
the humor's so good though. It's like
Sorry, was that everything, Tate?
silly.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll let somebody else take over.
Sure.
When it comes to like kids properties or like movies or television shows, like they're aimed at kids, but you can make them in a way where it's not just for kids. Like
no,
I think there's a difference between something that's like for kids and something that's like for all ages. Like even though like I consider The Lion King
You
for example,
can-
to be like an all
Yeah.
ages movie, not like a kids film.
There's like, I mean, like kids is such a broad term. There were people that were like, Adam, kids did die in the new fucking, what was it, Evil Dead thing. It's like, okay, well, it wasn't a main character. And then like, I guess like my definition of a kid is like a little different than other people. Like teenagers, I don't know if I'd consider like a kid death. Like who gives a shit about teenagers? Who cares if a teenager dies in a horror movie? like I don't know.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, I said in a horror movie.
No, I didn't hear that part.
Okay.
No, what I think's crazy though is there'll never be another like Ren and Stimpy, like in terms of like being that like kind of to bordering on
Raunchy.
edgy and made
Mhm.
for children. Yeah. There'll never be
Especially with the
Ren and
creator
Stimpy.
being like, I think he's kind of
Oh, a pedophile?
blacklisted, especially with all those sexual harassment that he's been charged with.
Mhm.
Or was
Yeah,
it
relationship
pedophilia
with a
charges?
child, I believe.
You know, it's always funny because like whenever people like say, "Oh, look,"
Who's
at
got
how
the conversation in the background? I just want to, if you can mute your mic.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I think it's really funny because like anytime like sometimes I'll see people like posting on Twitter or like Reddit that like post a clip from Ren and Stimpy, and it's like, oh, look at how crazy the animation was at the time, but they don't use the clips from like the original show. They use it from the like the clip that they use is like from the like a weird period where I guess like they moved the show to like a different studio and they wanted to make it into like a adult
party cartoon.
Yeah.
on MTV.
Yeah, and it's like it's the one with like the saw on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
butt or something. Like that's the one that everyone shares, and nobody knows that that's not from the original, and that's
I know.
Yeah, you know.
I know now.
It's crazy that one just had like they went from something that's made for Nickelodeon, and then after he got fired, he made a show that's basically for adults, and basically he decided to turn into an adult anime version of his beloved property.
Did Nickelodeon not want the rights to Ren and Stimpy after he got fired?
I don't know.
Or do they still retain it?
They still retained it because the Ren and Stimpy were in Smash Nickelodeon, that Smash Nickelodeon clone. They were in that game, so they still own the rights technically to it. I think. I was gonna say something actually.
He was fired after season 1, and then they continued, and then without him, and got.
But like, how did he
actress
get the ability to make that weird adult version? Because like
that, I don't know. But it was kind of a weird turn, and kind of weird to Nickelodeon.
Taylor, your hand is up. And also, we've got like 20 minutes left before I gotta end it. I'm gonna take a break, and then at some point after the break, after I collect myself, I will return on Twitch and we'll do the Final Fantasy Spirits Within watch along, and maybe some trailer reactions or something. But yeah. Anyway, Taylor, what's up?
Yeah, I mean that Spirits Within sounds painful, but
We'll see.
enjoy.
What was the other one that you're doing?
May. I might do that later tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. May 2002, Lucky McKee.
Oh well.
Oh god, I'm just looking up right now. Spirits Within has like $137 million.
Tons of great content coming. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say, the one thing I binged recently, and I haven't binged for a while, was Beef on Netflix. Have any of you guys?
I haven't seen it yet.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it, but I haven't got a chance yet. But maybe
I
this
mean,
year.
I don't know.
I
what
should,
you
I
guys
guess.
would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out here trying to say it's a masterpiece or anything, but
I like Steve.
Yeah, Steve Yeun was awesome in it, and I couldn't stop. I watched all 10 episodes back to back. I
Okay.
loved it. I thought it was hilarious, but not only that, but it was funny, but just great character. You just don't see a lot of that nowadays. A lot of great character development over that many episodes. I thought it was really, really freaking good, and I would highly recommend. And I would also just say if you're gonna binge it, just do it. You know, don't
not do it.
Don't not do it. Exactly.
Don't not.
Don't not. No, it's great.
Don't
It
it.
was awesome. It's a bit weird, and a lot of the beliefs or what they're trying to say, and I don't necessarily believe in, but no, it was awesome. It was great, and just something different. Like for Netflix, you know how it's been. It's kind of been dry. I mean, in my opinion, for a while, Netflix hasn't really had that thing.
Yeah, it hasn't had a lot of good content for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Especially
but-
most of it's made for teenagers anyway, like the kissing booths.
Right. So I think that this kind of is that, but
Okay.
you don't really see a lot of reactions that way. But yeah, go for it. If you're enjoying it, it's worth it. It's a fun show.
Yeah, we watched the little promo clip or whatever. It seems interesting enough.
It's just so much more.
Yeah.
And you think it's called Beef, and it's got that kind of it's got that gimmick kind of going for it, where it's like, oh, but it is so much more than what it seems.
Okay. I will check it out. We'll see how quickly though.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you.
That's it.
Nico.
So even if you're not at this year's Cannes Film Festival, what
No.
films are you still anticipated for?
Fucking the new, what's his face?
Jonathan Glazer. Zone
Yes,
of Interest.
Jonathan Glazer.
The Old Oak by Ken Loach.
Let's see what else is at Cannes right now.
They're gonna play the new Pixar movie Elemental tomorrow at Cannes. That's the final film, so we'll see how that goes.
It will get a standing boo.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be great as
Standing
usual, but
boo.
we'll see what audience have to think about it.
I want to go to
Did you see
Cannes and
what
give a
this-
standing boo for 20 minutes. You could just be like the one guy. Like, do they even kick you out? Because like it seems like everybody's booing at Cannes all the time. Seems like
They
seems
gave,
like a place
they
where
gave
they won't
Indiana-
kick you out.
They gave Indiana Jones the Dial of Destiny a standing ovation, and the reviews came out, and apparently it's really bad.
That's funny. Yeah, standing ovation means literally nothing at this point. At Cannes,
They
at Cannes, it doesn't mean
just
anything.
I just don't know like what's the point of Cannes.
Well, because it's like,
I mean, I don't.
oh, what's the point of the film festival?
Well, just Cannes in general, because it
Well,
just feels
Cannes
like
probably an
everybody's
elite version of like all those
I
film
feel like the
festivals.
fact that like they act so pretentious that it's like I don't want to be there. Like
It is.
would
I mean,
much
they have
better-
great selection of artists and films. I think, yeah, it inherently has like a pretentious nature to it because it's a lot of prestigious artists and French people. But I mean, you know, they're allowed to be that pretentious when the quality of films is that high.
I just feel like if I was to go to a film festival, I would probably go to something like Toronto or something.
TIFF is easily the best. Period.
Yeah, because like the way that you described it, it seems like
It's fun.
What
about
the best, like,
Sundance?
experiences and like
Sundance is not as good as TIFF by a
It's
lot.
smaller scale.
And
It's
also
smaller scale,
much
you know.
worse movies and mostly just American
Guess
movies.
just by chance.
Yeah, I would love to go to TIFF at some point.
Me too. I want to go
Yeah.
to TIFF at some point, though. I would love that, honestly.
Yeah, I want to try
Sun-
TIFF,
Sundance,
but,
like,
much like Sundance, I feel like it's
there's good stuff at
You just have to
Sundance
be
every
lucky to see if
year.
it's a good movie or not.
There's good stuff at Sundance every year, but like most of the movies are like the exact same like American centric indie nonsense bullshit movie that's not really good. You know? That's most Sundance movies. Is
I
just
assume
really
that the best
shit
first people want to
movies.
go to Toronto Film Festival is probably like Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
That's usually like
Sorry?
the best part about Toronto.
The
I
best-
assume like for us, the people want to go to TIFF for first people. You recommend us to go like Midnight Madness because I heard that's like, the fun part
If you
about
love horror
the
movies,
festival.
then yeah.
I heard that a film called Club Zero got booed because it had a vomit scene and it involves eating disorders. It's from
That's
the
cool.
same director as, yeah. Also, wanted to ask if you know about the game Faith the Unholy Trinity and if you might play
No.
it in the future on your.
Fate?
Yeah, it's Faith. Faith the Unholy Trinity. It's this 8-bit
Trinity.
horror game about a priest. Yeah.
I think I was told about this, but I just don't know. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. It looks good. It looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so many things that I haven't played. I just don't know what. I think I might start Pizza Tower soon.
Oh,
Very nice.
awesome. Pizza Tower's great. I love that game.
I tried
I would
Pizza
like to
Tower
play that.
and really couldn't get into it. I don't know.
I don't know, but Pizza Tower appealed to me a lot, so maybe that's why I like it, because it's exactly my kind of game.
If
Mm-hmm.
you like Wario Land 4, you'll probably like Pizza Tower.
What if I like Wario
it's-
Land 3?
Then you'll
That's a
hate
good
it.
one.
You'll
That
fucking
was,
hate
that,
it.
that was actually on the Game Boy Online service on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I played that recently. It was nice. You don't
Yeah.
die in that game. You just kind of like get inconvenienced when you get hit.
Yeah, I'll have to remember what that was all about. I beat Wario Land 3 like a billion times when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to revisit it at some point.
Yeah. I remember you could like get fat in the game if you like eat a donut or something from one of the enemies. And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of like modifiers for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wario didn't like take damage or something when he got hit. Like sometimes it just like changes his. He goes through like transformations or something.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start wish listing games that people recommend me. I think that's what
Yeah.
I'll
I mean, it's
do, and
probably
then that'll be my
so-
list of things to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how the new Nuri Bilge Ceylan film is. The Once Upon a Time in
What?
Anatolia guy. He has a film at
Oh.
Con right now. How do I see a list of
Well,
the
I heard
Con
that the
films
idol is
right
getting
now?
like poor reviews.
Yeah, I think Amanda liked it, maybe. Or wait, I don't remember. She tweeted about it, but I don't remember the context actually. I'll watch The Idol anyway. I don't even care.
Oh, he's
I'll
Turkish,
see.
yeah.
I'm too morbidly curious about it now.
Oh, this looks good.
The new Nuri film.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Those
any
are
of his
some of
others?
I'm familiar with them, but I haven't seen any.
Okay, so you want to like
the
they are very slow, is what I'll say.
That's all right. That's all right.
So
Yeah, I'm looking at it
the
right now, and
Palme
apparently
d'Or
there's
winner
movies.
was fucking what was it called? Winter Sleep. Like that's really good, but it's really really slow. So you just have to like kind of be prepared for like the slowest pacing ever, but it's still good. You just have to be into that kind of thing, otherwise you're screwed. What's up, Kiki? You have your hand up.
Yeah, so I guess like with all the different film festivals, I guess my sort of gauge of Sundance the one time I did that was it definitely seems more geared towards like first time directors rather
Sundance,
than
yeah.
expecting like some known auteur and things like that. You're definitely taking a bit more of a gamble with the films there, but I think it can still be an interesting experience in and of itself. But
If you
yeah,
know
you're
what you're looking
definitely
for, you'll see some good movies, but like fuck, they're still mostly bad.
yeah, and you're definitely right about like the sort of like America centric thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I
the
really
America Film Festival. Like it's all very
I mean,
American
to be
centric.
fair, Sundance was responsible for like the best '90s movies at the time. So
I mean, you
Yeah.
say responsible for. I don't know. I mean, there were some
Well, I
really
mean,
good movies.
responsible for like some of the best indie films that people still talk
List
about in
them.
film circles.
But what
Let's
you're
see.
saying
There's
is what you're
all I can
saying
think of is
though.
Clerks, Slackers. I think there was another one that I keep forgetting, but
Every
yeah, it's
Kevin
usually
Smith
stuff that
movie.
So I have a question about Can real quick. So they have this whole culture about like booing films.
Yeah.
Do they do that for the non-competition films that they show?
I don't know.
Or is it just like the one?
I think people just walk down the street and boo everywhere they go.
Because I'm just imagining, because I remember in one of the early episodes of the podcast, you actually mentioned that B movie got premiered at Cannes.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Madagascar
imagining.
3 got premiered at Cannes, apparently.
Okay, that's funny. Okay, I'm just imagining like if people booed.
They didn't
B
boo,
movie
they
when it was
B.
Yeah, I'm just wondering like what that would look like if they just booed those films.
I mean, I definitely wasn't
Especially
in
too,
any
Seinfeld
screening
wore
where they
that bee
booed, but
costume.
like I just don't. It just seems like a lot of people are just there to get attention, you know. So take everything you hear about Con with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
like you don't really know what it means.
Yeah, like I think they just do it to like get headlines like
Exactly.
this film broke the record for like the longest standing ovation.
The longest B. That's what I would if I was premiering the B movie at Con. I'd be like, okay, at the end of this, we're all going to yell B, and it's going to be the longest B.
Well, no, they'll like actually like buzz. They'll be like,
yeah.
And then they release bees into the audience.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You want to
Oprah's
get stung
there.
at Cannes.
I've heard about some of the audiences there. Like, I genuinely can't imagine an entire room full of people agreeing to like have a 10, 15-minute long standing
Well, because
ovation.
half of the audience is people that worked on the movie, and they're just trying to get the headline.
That makes a lot more sense.
So it's like they're like oh,
self-promotion.
we're gonna not stop clapping because we have a financial interest in not stopping our clapping, and then other people will hopefully join in.
That makes a lot more sense.
I wonder, do you get like blisters if you clap that long?
Probably. Yeah. We got like 5 minutes left. If I'm not gonna do the go through everyone thing this time, but if anybody wants to raise their hand for final questions or comments, then
I have
yeah.
some stuff to say.
Sure, go for it.
I'm gonna go bye-bye.
Okay, have a good one.
Alex.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
BC.
Well, I had like 3 things, but I'll let you
Sure.
two with them because you were like on a time crunch. So first things first. So I know you're doing Final Fantasy Spirits Within, but there's a great video by a guy named Matt McMuscles who does a series called What Happened, where he goes over like games and movies that have like had like pretty interesting
Trouble Productions.
Yeah, Trouble Productions. I'll link you to the one he did on Final Fantasy Spirits Within. He has it's a great video. Maybe you could watch that after.
Maybe.
After it's only like 20 minutes, so you don't have to. So it's not a long video. And the second thing I wanted to mention was that so going back to the whole like kids on like last Hangout I went on a rant about like kids on their phones and stuff and how some parents just let their kids play like put random videos on. I think yesterday at work. There was these two kids that had their mom was going grocery shopping, and the two kids were watching a Darman video.
Oh, nice.
That's great.
Yeah, they were watching a Darman video.
Were they changing lives?
I wish, but it involved the PlayStation 5, and I don't remember what video it was. It was a recent one, but it's just something I thought I mentioned. And I guess the last thing is that this is very quick. Have you ever, since you're watching Final Fantasy Spirits Within, have you ever even remotely tried playing a Final Fantasy game? Any of them?
I don't remember if I tried playing one of them. I don't like turn-based combat unless it's Pokemon, though. So.
Okay, I don't like turn-based combat either, except unless if it's Undertale or like a Mario RPG, like Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story or something like that. But
I like Chrono Trigger.
That's a good one. That's a good game.
Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you. I just
Thank you.
I know you're on a time crunch, so I'm gonna stop.
All right, easy
yeah,
games.
I'm gonna go now, but it was nice talking to you, Adam.
Thanks. You as well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Matt, I'll see you later.
I'll try to keep mine quick as well.
Sure.
So, Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I've been seeing some weird criticism for the game about like how it looks like a PS2 game, and I'm just wondering, like, because it doesn't feel like a terribly graphical game or anything to me, but it's definitely not like the most realistic stuff that you'll ever see like on PC or something. So I just wanted to know like how important is like good graphics for a video game like that?
It depends what you're trying to do. I think Nintendo kneecapped themselves with the console, right? It has nothing to do with like you'd see a lot better looking games if the hardware was better with Nintendo. So
right, but I also just don't really like. Sometimes a game might look like super realistic or like have like God of War, for example. Like that game looks great, but I just feel
it
like
shouldn't be
there's a
the
lot of
priority.
games, yeah, that's my biggest issue. It's like, who cares if it looks like a PS2 game? Like there are good PS2 games out there that look amazing. It's just like because
if it's like an intentional part of the style, why not?
Yeah. Like Critical actually mentioned something really important about that, which I really agree with, is that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, like it trumps a lot of graphic fidelity because of its art style, and not so much like the graphics itself. So I really do feel like the art style for games like that is more important than like it looking realistic or anything. So yeah, and that's all I'd say.
I mean, there's a lot of like good pixel art games. So all right, Kiki.
Hey, let's see. Yeah, just a couple quick declarative statements. So yeah, Adam, if you have around $1,400 to throw around, there is a copy of Climax on VHS up on eBay.
Yeah, no, can't do it.
Yeah, and also today is a very important national holiday. It's Gaspar Noé's dad's birthday. He just turned 90.
Shit. I'm shocked his parents are still kicking.
Yeah, and then
after him making the movie about like old people and dementia.
Having Gaspar Noé as your kid might be scarier than any of his movies.
Yeah, especially if he has siblings. Then you gotta wonder. Then you're like scared. Like, what did he do?
As far as sorry.
Go for it.
And then as far as like Tears of the Kingdom is concerned, like even though like the Switch is underpowered as fuck, apparently a lot of devs are kind of looking at it like as some sort of miracle game because they
managed to do things with with the hardware.
Yeah, it's like the draw distance is ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Apparently,
it's
it
like,
runs better on the fucking Steam Deck.
yes, as do most things.
Yeah.
I think part of what makes like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom run well is that they actually like unload some of the world like that's like behind the camera, so it doesn't. I don't know how it works. It's very complicated, but like
Mhm.
I saw somewhere that like they like literally unload some of the world that's like behind the camera, so it's not like being rendered all the time.
That's funny.
Yeah, but also if you watch speedruns of like Breath of the Wild, where they like do this crazy glitch where like they get a lot of speed and like go like halfway across the map within like a couple seconds, there's actually points where like the game will just freeze like movement because it's currently loading, and that tells me that there's like chunks of the map itself that the game will like try to load as you like move close to it, but if you're going super fast, the game just has to like pause like your movement just so that it can like load properly. And there's a couple points in Tears of the Kingdom where that happened to me, but yeah, it is pretty impressive that they did that like at the very start of the Switch lifespan, and they continue it with this game as well.
All right, Kiki, you had anything else to?
That's it. I'm good.
Okay, thank you
Thanks.
so much. MJ.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up? Nice to meet you guys.
You as well.
I don't know if this is out of place. I just wanted to thank you for your content and say how much it means to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed it, but especially during the pandemic, kind of just like rekindled the like, hey, I should take watching movies more like, seriously because I have a little bit of time now. And like a lot of your videos, how in depth they go, like got me into that headspace. And like I started a movie podcast with my brother.
Oh,
and
shit,
that's been
nice.
great for our relationship, and like just kind of some cool stuff coming from directly your channel. So I just want to hop on and say thanks for what you do.
Thank you, and thanks for your support. Thanks for the patronage as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's called Movies While They Sleep because the idea is the only time we have to watch movies is after our families. We both have kids, so after they go to bed, then we can watch some like 3-hour slog on Criterion.
That's funny. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I will be on Twitch at some point later, maybe sooner than you think. I don't know. I'm gonna figure out if I'm gonna finish my taxes before or after, because I'm still working on those things. I got like a fucking number pad so I could do that with my left hand, because it was irritating my right hand. Anyway, yeah, I'll be on Twitch.
I was gonna say, last question.
Sure, go for it.
Tendinitis tips.
Sorry, what?
Any tendinitis tips?
Tendinitis tips? I mean, the biggest fucking help has just been like not using the bothered appendage as much, which is difficult to do because the time that I tried just changing everything to my left hand, I just got tendinitis in both arms. So yeah, I'm right now. My game plan is like maybe just slowly transition myself into being like a lot more left-handed, because it certainly didn't work when I tried to do it all at once. So I'm trying to be conscious of like I don't know, picking things up and like what I'm doing with my left hand versus my right hand. And I think over time that'll probably help more. But
do you feel it like specifically when you're like working or just kind of doing anything?
A lot of the times it shows up like days after I'm doing so or like sometimes like later in the day or sometimes like a day after, where I'll be like, why the fuck is it bothering me again? Like what was I doing? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, I was typing a whole bunch of shit. So yeah, it really depends on what, because it's part of it is like the tendon and then part of it is the wrist. It's like kind of two separate issues is what I've started to realize. I've like got a really, for some reason, just like a really weak wrist and palm even on my right hand. Like when I'm doing weight training and stuff, it's like it hurts a lot very easily for no good reason, and we're trying to figure out what's wrong with it. So, all right, thank you. And then I guess Taylor, if last question or comment.
Yeah, just backing off what you guys just said. I work in the restaurant industry, and I just refuse to carry more than 2 things now because
Mhm.
multiple plates at one time. It just
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it.
exactly. So I'm trying to beat it before it becomes a huge problem.
Yeah, be preventative.
Yeah.
That's,
Other than that,
those are better ideas than what I had. I was going to suggest amputation.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, I've got a massive ass that I can put a plate on.
Mhm.
Other than that, I can't do more than 3, right? So, but no, thank you for the hangout, and good to see you guys again. These are always a pleasure. And
Yes, thank you.
Likewise.
what's your next Disney? I really enjoyed the Little Mermaid.
Watch along.
along,
I mean, any remake I'll see, I'll watch the
chicken.
original beforehand. So maybe whatever.
Be a remake? Does it have to be a remake?
What do you mean?
Chicken Little.
Yeah, I might watch Chicken Little at some point. I don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead in terms of watching those things.
Okay.
All
I
right.
did see that you gave the OG Little Mermaid a 7 out of 10.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll talk about it in the video later. Thank you so much for hanging out.